Okay. You can start, Gloria.
All right. Good evening and welcome to everyone to this exciting call. It's the launch of a new business enterprise for me. I am really, really excited. Thank you to all of those who I invited who saw fit and want to be blessed by the wonderful information that we are going to have shared with us tonight. My name is Gloria Campbell, and I am an entrepreneur. And I am a network marketer, and I love the business of network marketing. But more importantly, I really love this product and what it's going to do in terms of health and creating good health and wealth for all of us. I absolutely want to thank Mr. Ernie Coney, who is actually one of my clients that introduced me to this business and this business opportunity. And I am going to end my portion by just thanking our special guest that we have on, Ms. Verdita Monk, who is a presidential director out of Atlanta, who will be actually sharing all of the information that you're going to hear today. She is definitely the one. I'm so excited to be a business partner with her and looking forward to all the exciting things that we're going to get to hear and share today. So, Verdita, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Gloria, for all those kind words. Thank you so much for your vision and your willingness to say yes, because what you're saying yes to is literally life-changing. Before I get started, I will ask everyone on the call, please mute yourself and stop your videos, because this is being recorded and we don't want any distractions during the call. So I know some of you still have your videos on, but I appreciate you stopping them now. So again, my name is Verdita Monk, and I am really excited about what my husband have decided to do. We've been involved with a company called LifeWave for since November of 2022. And I'll tell you how we got started and why we got started. Well, a friend of ours by the name of Ken Robinson called us one day and said that he had something that he wanted to share with us, and that we needed to meet him somewhere, because he had these little patches, which I'm going to tell you more about them in a moment, that he wanted to give us. And so we were literally about to go out of town to visit my husband's parents in Milwaukee. But so it was kind of a quick, interaction with him. But he says, this is really important. I need you to try these. So we went to Milwaukee, and when we landed and got to my in-laws' house, it was in the evening. And the first thing I noticed was my mother-in-law was rubbing her knee like profusely. Now, what was so significant about that is because I've been knowing this lady for over 40 years, and she always seemed to be in a picture of health, never anything wrong. So for her to be just rubbing her knee like that, so I knew something was wrong. And that I said, we had just heard, got on a call like the one you're all on right now. And we heard some people that had pain and different things going on. So we said, why don't we just put this patch on? And so we put the patch on her knee, just like I said, very innocently, didn't really know what we were doing. We put it on her, and then she went to bed that night. She did not wake up during the night to take any type of medication and put any ointment on her knee. And that's all the doctor gave her was some type of pain medication. The other alternative was knee. Well, she's 92 years old, and she just did not want to that. So if you can just imagine how she was feeling, especially someone who never in my remembrance had ever been sick or anything. And so that night, the next morning when she woke up and said that, keep in mind, in our mind, we were thinking this is for people that are on medication, people that are sick, people that have pain. That's what we thought. So we just said, let's just put it on us. So the next night we put it on me and my husband put one of these patches on our body. The first thing I noticed, I didn't notice it until I woke up, that I had slept so sound. I slept so sound, I just could not believe it. It was so different. And then what I also noticed, it was really quiet in the room. But at first I didn't know. I just noticed my husband wasn't snoring. All I know was the next night we did it again, and he did not snore again. But that's when it caught my attention, and I said, oh my God, this patch has stopped him from snoring. See, what you have to understand is my husband's more like a bear. I mean, he'd be waking up choking and coughing, and it was really scary. It really was. I mean, so To be honest with you, the night that he didn't snore, I thought he may have died in his sleep. And that's the honest truth. Just to, not to put a damper on anything, but that's what I thought. And so I said, what? But I got on another call like this, and I kind of kept hearing all these profound testimonies. I said, this is something I know a lot of people need this, because I was hearing unusual stuff. And that's why Gloria invited you to the call tonight. Somebody else may have invited you to this call, because we've been extended it to several other people, just so that you'll get a chance to hear some of the testimonies the way we have heard them. And it's plenty of them, but we just pulled a couple to the side because we know they're going to bless you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a PowerPoint that has, all this information that I was telling you about. Let's see if this is the one. Let's go with this one. All right. Okay, there we go. So now here's the question I want to ask everyone. Some of you may have been patched. If you're not, here's the question. Have you been patched yet? And if you have not been patched, just hold on to your seat, because you are going to be patched by the time you get off of this call. You're going to say, where's my patch? Because these patches will elevate you. They will reactivate the stem cells that are in your body, and they will regenerate you. Okay. Now, why would you even want to consider, this is called the X39 stem cell activation patch. Why would you want to consider doing that? Well, have you ever heard of people who get stem cell injections? And those injections may cost $5,000, $25,000, $100,000. I even heard a man say he paid that much. Let me go back. I'm sorry, I'm messing up my screen here. I hope everything is okay. Because I hit the wrong button. But they do that because they're in some kind of dire or chronic situation. Maybe somebody's paralyzed. Somebody may have, I know people that have children that are autistic, and they don't want their children to be autistic. So they go out of the way, out of the country, literally, and to get injections, stem cell injections, hoping this will help their autistic child. People that have just like heart condition, whatever the reason is, they know that stem cells is the answer, new stem cells. Well, the problem with that is everybody can't afford $5 or $10 or $25,000, can they? But the other problem is that it may not work. There's a 30% chance that that injection may not even work. And so it's a risk sometimes. And I don't want to go into the horror stories, but it could be risky. And there's no insurance that's going to cover it, and there's no guarantee. This is why we feel like this is the solution. This is the X39 stem cell patch. But why is this happening? Why are some people, in these, as they get, older, you see this, what it says right here: the faster you age, the slower you heal. Why are people experiencing high blood pressure, diabetes, and all this? Is because as they're aging, their body is slowly healing. I mean, it's not healing as fast. So therefore, what the facts tell us, and what history is telling us, is that after age 30, half of all the stem cells in our body are gone. And by the time we're age 60, almost every stem cell in our body is gone. 90% of them are gone, you guys. This is why we're getting dementia, why we're getting, just tired, brain fog, all kinds of illnesses. And as we get older, there's nothing we can do about it, right? Now, I'm getting a little distracted because people are still signing in, and I'm having to admit them to the call. So I apologize if it seems like I'm a little distracted. Now, how does this patch work? First of all, these patches are made in a lab. In the very middle, there are something called nanocrystals. These are very, very tiny crystals like salt and sugar, and they have a frequency. They have came up with a frequency such that when you put the patch on your body, anywhere on your body, it elevates the crystals that are in this patch reflect off of the light of your body. See, we have light and we have heat in our body. Our bodies reflect off that crystal and the crystals and turn around and elevate our copper peptides. And then something after that happens that's just what I consider just miraculous and phenomenal. That in turn reactivates our own stem cells. Now, let me just elaborate a little bit, because scientists say that there is no way that our own stem cells can be reactivated. See, when I told you about the injections, those are not necessarily your own stem cells. If they are, there may be from a different part of your body. Let's say you need the stem cell injection, in your brain. They may take a stem cell from somewhere else in your body, and then when they do it to your brain, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. These stem cells, when they're your own stem cells, so if the stem cells in your head, in your brain, stem cells in your heart, stem cells in your lungs, your liver, your kidney, your body uses its own existing stem cells and they reactivate themselves. That right there is why I say it's miraculous, because they said nobody could do it. So the crystals elevate the copper peptides in your body, and that in turn reactivates your stem cells. This is the GHK copper peptide in particular. Many people are familiar with copper peptides and they start thinking of high-end skincare. So we're talking about the holy grail of anti-aging. Now, the company that I mentioned earlier that we're a part of is called LifeWay. This is the company that makes this patch available. It's a 19-year-old company, and the company did pretty well for up to 19 years. It went up to about 20 million. And then last 2.5 years has jumped up to 280 million. But now, today, we're at almost 400 million. The company is growing extremely fast, as you can see by this growth curve here. And we've expanded to over 75 countries. Now, here is the genius I told you about, Mr. David Schmidt. He is the CEO and inventor of this patch. Literally, it says here 130 patents, but he now has over 180 patents. So, I mean, that is unbelievable. That is incredible. But this man is just committed to making a difference in people's lives. He majored in biology and computer science in college because he knew at age 7 he wanted to be an inventor. All right. So he is the 2-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. Some of us literally got a chance to meet him this past weekend in Tampa, Florida, where he, talked about, the technology. It just was so humbling for me to just sit there and listen to this man. He is incredible. But listen, this particular technology is patented, you guys. That's the opportunity we have in our hand. No other company can market this technology for the next 17 years because it's 20-year patent, and we've already had it for 3 years. Let me tell you something else about Mr. Smith, how he got started. Back up a minute. He was commissioned by the federal government over 20 years ago to create something for the Navy SEALs for a project that the Department of Defense had this new submarine, and the Navy SEALs were going to be underwater for days at a time. So he was challenged and commissioned to come up with something that would keep them energized and focused for 36 hours at a time. And that's how he got started. But for the U.S. government to consider him for this project, that just lets you know he's got to be the best of the best. That's who our CEO is, you guys. Now, how do you wear this patch? Very simple. All you do is stick it on anywhere on your body for 12 hours and 12 hours off. Like if you start at 8 in the morning, take it off at 8 p.m. Now, why do you want to, do it just for 12 hours and 12 hours off? Because you want your body to repair and rejuvenate. Okay. You throw it away, start again the next day. You can wear more than one patch at a time, but it is not necessary. And then what you really want to make sure you do is drink plenty of water, because you want to be well hydrated so that, the toxins in your body can be flushed out more effectively. Now, this page right here just shares with you some of the things that you may experience when you put this patch on. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. We're not saying the patch is healing or curing or mitigating anything, because this is not a drug. There's nothing in this patch. These are just crystals. So they are non-transdermal. Nothing goes into your body. It's just reflecting off the light of your body. Let me put it another way to help you understand what I mean when I say non-transdermal. When you go out into the sun, I know you've heard that going into the sun elevates your vitamin D. But keep in mind, there's no vitamin D flowing through the air, is it? But yet your vitamin D is elevated when you go into the sun. That same thing happens with this patch. It's called photobiomodulation. When you put the patch on, the copper peptides in your body are elevated. So there's nothing going into your body. So it cannot interfere with medication. However, you may experience rapid pain relief, like the story I told you about my mother-in-law. You may experience reduced inflammation And inflammation is like the culprit of most, diseases and ailments in our bodies. It supports wound healing, gives you plenty of energy and vitality. I'm telling you, that is right there. That right there was a game changer for me because I was such a busy person. And you can imagine in the evenings how you feel when you still got work to do or you still got things to do and you just don't have the energy. But that is not the case now. Mental clarity enhances sports performance. We have attracted so many professional athletes simply because this patch enhances their sports performance. Faster recovery from exercise. And that's another thing that people that like to work out, they, when they're sore, they recognize that. Improve skin appearance. I'm gonna tell you, people are having great results with the skin appearance. Now, look at this graph right here. It's called the topography map. This reflects a 77-year-old woman who they put the patch on the back of her neck. Excuse me. And then look at this first picture. The orange area represents inflammation that's in her brain. The light blue section represents any type of stem cell activity that she may have. But in session 2, 3 weeks later, look at this. All of the inflammation is gone. The stem cell and the brain is becoming balanced. In session 3, 3 weeks later, look at all the stem cell activity, you guys. It's just amazing. And this is what's happening to our brains as well when we start using the patch. Because look at this chart right here. It tells you right here. First of all, let me say this. There were over 80 case studies. It took 10 years to develop this patch. It took 10 years. So they did case studies all over the world with some of the best doctors in the world. And this is what they came up with. In the first few days, they noticed that over 4,000 genes began to reset. I don't know how they measure this kind of stuff, but that's what they did. 4,000 genes began to reset. Let me tell you why that right there is significant. I heard a physician say that, when people drink red wine, it's been told like helps your heart, helps you, your genes and all this kind of stuff. And he said that resveratrol, which is an ingredient in the red wine, only resets 2 genes at a time. So 4,000 genes beginning to reset is incredible. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. And I just shared with you 6 week. What happened to that lady? Her brain became balanced on the previous page. This it decreases the symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. See, this is why people are depressed and other things like that is because their brain is not balanced. Okay, within 3 months, your collagen begins to increase. This is why the wrinkles start going away, hair starts growing. The structural integrity of your skeletal and muscular system. Let me tell you why that's so important. I know you understand how as we age, our bones become less dense. And so that means that if you fall and crack, fall or something, you're going to crack that bone. You're going to crack the bones, and it's hard for your body to withstand something like that. So as we don't you want your, instead of getting osteoporosis, don't you want your bones to become denser? See, those are the kinds of things that we don't think about. Like we think, okay, I don't take any medication. There's nothing wrong with me. That's what my husband and I thought. We didn't think about the snoring, that it would help with that, but it did. Now look what happens at 6 months. The heart reverses in age because in a recent study, they said, excuse me, in a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using the patch. Let me tell you something about a friend of mine that I met through this company. His name is Jeffrey, and his story touches my heart, and I'm sure it's going to touch yours, but I really want you to catch this right here. When I say the heart reverses in age, let me tell you what happened to Jeffrey. Jeffrey was diabetic, and he was taking 4 insulin shots per day just to make it through the day. And he had to take his, sugar levels or whatever every time he ate. After 3 days of wearing this patch, he no longer had to give himself injections. He says that since November, every once in a while, he'll measure himself, and every once in a while, he'll have to take that injection. But what happened 3 years ago, he had a stroke. He had a stroke, and it paralyzed his whole left side. He said he had to learn to eat again, how to talk, how to walk, how to do everything. The doctors would not let him leave the hospital without getting a pacemaker. And so when he started wearing the patch, he was already seeing their cardiologist every 6 weeks. And so the cardiologist, when he went back to the doctor 6 weeks after wearing the patch, they were able to, the doctor looked at his numbers or whatever, the machine, to look at your heart, and they said that he was no longer relying on the pacemaker and the defibrillator that he was wearing. He was 100% operating on his own. The heart was operating on its own. The only way this could happen in 6 weeks, you guys, is because the stem cells in his heart began to re-elevate and reactivate. Do you see right now what we have our hands on? And this is why we're so passionate about this. So I don't have enough time today because I wanted to try to keep this around 30 minutes, but I think we're a little behind. But if you go to this site right here called Start, S-T-A-R-T, startx39.com, write that down or take a screenshot or something. You're going to see those 80 case studies. This is why so many physicians join our company, because those case studies do not lie. When they're registered on, when they're registered and this is a patent, all of that stuff is right there. You can look at it. There's doctors' reviews. There's all kinds of video testimonies. Please go to that site and just make sure you get this, okay? Now, I told you earlier about wound healing. Look at this lady's wound on her face, and within 21 days, it's just amazing how much better it looks. Here's another lady who wore the X39 for almost a year, and her skin definitely is smoothing out. The wrinkles are gone away. Here's a gentleman who was going bald, and just after, I think it was 3 months. This thing is in my way. I can't see it, but yeah, after 3 months of wearing the patch, look at his hair. This is just amazing. Just a whole different, this person right here is, you can see the big difference. So what I'm going to do now, this is my favorite part of the presentation, you guys, is I've invited a couple of guests on because I want you to hear from some real life people what this patch can do for you. So the first person I'm going to ask is Mr. James Burnett. If Mr. Burnett, would you mute yourself and share your video and share your awesome testimony? There you go.
I'm
Hi,
there.
James.
Hey, hello everybody. How are you doing?
Great.
I got a couple of testimonies. The very first one was the first thing that happened to me. I'm a diabetic. I have neuropathy, which is nerve damage in your feet. That's caused by diabetes. And if you don't know how it feels like walking with rocks in your shoes. And I have a good friend of mine. I think she's on this call, Dr. Linda Avery. I've been friends with her for well over 20 plus years, but she came by and dropped off some patches to me. And I took it kind of with a grain of salt. She said, look, put this on for 12 hours and once in the morning and then take it off at night or whatever. So I did it. Now, I also had a problem with my ankles swelling along with my feet. And my wife used to put alcohol on my feet to bring the swelling down. Well, I decided to go ahead and put the patch on. I did it. And ordinarily when I come home from work or come home, I would take my shoes off. Well, after the first couple of days of putting the patch on and taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, my wife noticed that I wasn't coming home taking my shoes off. And she said, boy, you're not taking your shoes off like you used to. And I took them off and I noticed my feet weren't swollen, nor were my ankles. And it just dawned on me that I've been walking around and my feet weren't hurting the way they had normally been hurting. I said, what the heck? So I'm still not, okay, yeah, right, this patch. But Dr. Ava only gave me 3 patches. I didn't want to take the chance of going back to the feeling the pain in my feet. So I called Dr. Ava and said, Doc, I need some more of these patches. She said, well, listen, you can sign up So, which I did. But it was going to take like 3 or 4 days or something like that or whatever to get my patches. So I said, listen, I need some more of these patches because I don't want to ruin the rhythm I got going here. So she gave me some more patches. Then my patches came. Now it's been a little bit over a month, and it has been a life changer. Now, my second testimony, I have more, but I'm just going to give you two for time purposes. I also am anemic, and I'm trying to get my count up. I'm anemic, and I eat ice like crazy. It turns out that I okay, wait a minute. I want to show you. Maybe I don't have enough time to do it, but I have my test scores. I'm also on Humana, and my chart is when they give you all your test scores or whatever it may be. Well, my iron level was at 23, which is very, very low, and that was in May. And if we have another time to do, I can show you my actual chart. But anyway, I went back and in August this month, I hadn't done any. Well, they wanted me to take iron pills, and I don't like iron pills for people that take iron pills. They understand they constipate you, for I guess the lack of a better word. And so I didn't want to take the iron pills, so I didn't take them. Only thing I've done different in my life and in my diet or whatever is this darn patch. Okay, that's the only thing I've done different. Well, I went for my blood work every 3 months. Got to go get my blood work, and my test results came back, and my iron level went from 23 to 68, which is now in the safe zone. Nothing I did different. Not one thing I did different other than the patch. So I got to give the patch the credit. Now, I'm only been 4 or 5 weeks. I'm excited. Cannot wait to see what my 90-day results are going to be. I hope this helped some of you folks. God bless.
Well, thank you so much, James, for sharing that wonderful testimony. And I know your life is different. I know the first time I heard you say this, you were just jumping all around because you couldn't do anything like that at first with that with the neuropathy. So yeah, I hope everybody understands, that this has changed his life. And he also talked about he's been wearing it just of course he's going to consistently wear it every day. Who knows if he stopped wearing it? I don't know if the neuropathy will come back, because it's you want to keep wearing this patch for every decade that you are. Let's say if you're 50 years old, you at least want to wear the patch 5 months. This is just a little band-aid, y'all. This is not something that is sticking out or anything like that. So do you want to do you want to get rid of this situation? Because people ask me all the time, how long I have to wear? Well, how long do you want to be well? How long do you want to keep improving your body? And that's the answer to that. But thank you so much, Jane. You can stop your video and stop your and mute yourself as well. But thank you so much. And then we have one more testimony I want to bring on, a gentleman and ask him to come on and share his testimony. Mr. Patrick Tingling, can you unmute yourself and share your video?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
First of all, before I start my testimonials, I'd like to say a shout out to Ms. Bernita Monk. She's the most helpful professional lady. I'm so happy that she did call me about these patches 10 months ago. It's an incredible journey I've had with this new technology. Before I had patches, I thought my body was fine. I'm an athlete. I like to run. I used to ski. I live in Canada, but I had knee problems. And as far as I'm concerned, I was okay. I live with it. I go to the gym, I band it. So when Miss Bernita called me about these patches, I kind of think about it and I said, well, there's nothing wrong with me. So a lot of people are thinking there's nothing, who have had the opportunity to hear about the stem cells, X39. Some people say there's nothing going on with them. However, if you're about a certain age, in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, 70s, there is something going on. You might just be living with it and not realizing it's affecting you. Until I put the patch on. 2 weeks after I put the patch on, and I went for a walk, I realized that the pain had receded so much. 10 months, I'm running on the treadmill, no pain. So pain is the first thing that went. Second thing that went was my gums. I spent a lot of times at the dentist. I'm in my 70s. So my gums have been infected several places. I noticed that my gums started to heal quickly. My gums are now bright pink. They're very, very strong. To make things even better, my dentist asked me, what's going on? Why my mouth is so healing so fast? And I told him I'm using extra-9 stem cells. He said, I want to know more about it. He's not using the product. Next thing I had was inflammation in my hand. I had a big cut and it would not heal. I had to go to the specialist. Therapy, inflammation, it would not heal until I used the patch. I could go on and on, but I'd just like to tell you about my wife. She's also a very lady who's very fit. She stands on her feet 10 hours a day, very, very healthy. However, everybody goes through things. I did not. She started using the patch, and of course, she was a bit skeptical about it. I wear it just because you're wearing it. And then she said one day to me, I noticed that my bloatedness has disappeared. I no longer feel bloated. You know, you ladies, after a certain stage in your life, certain foods you eat, it bloats you up. She doesn't have that problem anymore. She's wearing the patch daily. She also said her gums have been healing. I could go on and on, but all I'm telling you, for people who have been approached and says that everything is going on with my body, everything is fine, please, everything is not fine. As we age, our stem cells shut down, we need this product. And I think everybody should be on the patch. If I'm going to get off it, I don't think so. I love my patch. I will always wear it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Patrick Tingling, for saying yes, and thank you for that awesome testimony. You know, Patrick said a lot of things. He said it as well as James that, you know, they could go on and on. In other words, that's just not all that's happened to them. It's just just think about this. If you had two people, you had two people standing side by side, you could almost tell if, let's say, if they're 20 or 30 years difference in age, you can tell who's 20 and who's 50 because they look different, right? So this patch, like with me, I used to, I'm in my 60s and I had wrinkles on my neck. They are, well, I think they're
Ms.
gone.
Verdita, can I say one more thing, Ms. Verdita?
Sure, Patrick.
One more thing. I sent a picture to my son who lives in Canada a couple of days ago. And he texts me back today and he says, Dad, you look amazing. Amazing. Because of this collagen of my skin. And I'm telling you guys, try this patch because use this patch. Don't just try it, use it. Because it is going to reverse your age. You're going to look so well. And everybody's going to tell you how well you look. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. So yeah, so you've heard several, you can stop your video, Patrick. Stop your video and mute yourself. So thanks everybody for your testimonies. I think you all got the picture. I'm going to go back to the presentation, but you, like I said, you heard several things there. And, you know, what you heard was, you know, once again, things that are, you just don't anticipate. You don't expect that your numbness and your tingling in your feet will go away. You don't expect, you know, your heart reversing age. You don't expect to not have to rely on a pacemaker. I mean, when I tell you the testimonies go on and on, you just don't understand what you have your hands on. So now for those of you who caught it, who see it, who understand why we're so excited, I know you can't wait to get your hands on some of this. Let me tell you how you can get your hands on some of these patches. First of all, this package right here is 30 patches in this patch. It's a 30-day supply, and it comes in this sleeve. This sleeve comes inside of this sleeve. So it's a beautiful packaging. And so what you do is you have a choice. Do you want to get it, you know, retail for $150 for a 30-day supply? Or do you want to save money? It only makes sense to save money. So a 30-day supply of these is only $99. However, if you only get a 30-day supply, you do have to pay a $25 starter kit fee. So you're paying $125. So that's still saving you $25. But if you're wise, you would want, remember, some people, it just takes a little longer to see some things happen in their body because you didn't get to where you are in one day. Don't expect the patch to always work in one day. My husband had a one patch wonder. Everybody doesn't have what you call a one patch wonder. These wrinkles took me years to accumulate, but now I don't have them anymore. That did not happen in one day. That happened over time. So do the silver pack minimum. Why? Because especially if you're married, you want to use it, and your wife wants, and your spouse wants to use it. And then, just like Dr. Avery said, she was able to go over James's house and give him some samples. She wanted to bless somebody else. You can't do that if you just have one sleeve. Now, let me tell you about those people. If you understand how this can help so many other people, and also how you can capitalize of in my opinion, one of the biggest wealth transfers that you will ever see in your life, you want to consider a gold, platinum, or diamond pack, because the gold pack at least positions you, because we get promoted. The more we get promoted as we share this or whatever, the more money we're going to make. But you cannot get promoted in the company unless you're at least a gold pack. But the platinum and the diamond pack allows you to save money, because now you're paying $84 per sleeve. Let me tell you why my husband and I got the diamond pack. There's 3 reasons, but I want you to know, first of all, it doesn't matter what package you come in with. It just matters that you get engaged, because you can upgrade from silver to gold. Do not even pay a penalty. See, there's a $200 difference between the silver and the gold, and it's just 2.5 sleeves there. So there's no penalty. Same thing here, but you save money on the diamond and the platinum. But let me tell you what happened with us. I'm the kind of person, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I really, really care about people. That's why I wanted to do it, because I wanted to change some lives, because you just heard those testimonies for yourself. There's no way that, if Dr. Avery even knew that James had neuropathy, there was no way she's going to keep that a secret. There was no way I was going to keep this a secret from my uncle, who has, what was it? Parkinson's. There's no way you can keep this a secret when you have your hands on something that can help them. So we started making this list, right? We made a list of about 25 couples, and we wanted to give each one of those couples 5 apiece for the woman and the husband and the wife. That's 10 per couple. That's 250 patches right there. Then we turned around and made a list of 25 individuals. So that's another 5 times 25, 125. That's 375 patches. If you divide that by 30, that's 12.5 sleeves. See, there's 19 sleeves in this diamond pack. So that left us 7. The diamond pack, they give you 90 days before you have to do another auto ship. Well, I explain that in a moment. But for 90 days, me and my husband both using the patches, that's 6 more sleeves. So 12 plus 6 is 18. The numbers, I just did the numbers. I needed a diamond pack. Okay. With the diamond pack, we were able to pass these patches out to so many friends. And guess what? Now we have thousands of people since November that have, number one, been blessed by this patch and decided they wanted to get one of these patches. Okay. Now, let me just say this real quick about the auto ship. All this means is this: the way you earn money in this business is if you help people get these patches and they decide to tell some other people, and all those people every month, they get more. They don't stop using them. They just keep getting them. And every time they get more, you make money. Okay. And when you make money, the way you qualify to earn money is when you use the patches yourself. You purchase some of them yourself. That's called an auto ship, but you set it on a certain day of the month. Okay. So somebody may send you this application so that they could capture all of the information you need to set up your site, your website, username, stuff like that, and let them know what package you get. But I told you there was one reason that we got the diamond pack. Here's the second reason. You see right here where it says the diamond pack, these numbers right here at the bottom let you know how much the company pays you when someone purchases one of these packages from you. When you get the diamond pack, if you're not a diamond yourself, the company pays you $200. But if you are a diamond, they pay you $500. But let's say if you're a gold package, just the package you purchase, and let's say you enroll a diamond, do you think the company just, throws that extra 300? No, the other 300, if you make 200 for bringing in a diamond, the other 300 goes to somebody above you who is a diamond. And I wanted that to be me. So every time we signed up a diamond, we made $500 instead of the 200. We enrolled 3 of those in 1 week. So that was $1,500, pretty much made our money back. So do you see the benefit of being a diamond? And we can go over more of that with you. Keep in mind, you can always upgrade to any of these packages. We just want to make sure you understand everything. So, you'll get a good idea what you need to do. And we'll help you make that decision once we get on the phone with you. But I want to ask you this question. What's most important in your life? Is it your family? Of course, everybody on this call, I'm pretty sure your family is the most important thing in your life. Why not bless your family by letting them know about something that you can help them with? What about time freedom? Do you realize the earnings that you can make from this company can really replace the money that you're making on your job? My husband and I are so fortunate now that we have gotten to a place where if we did not do our traditional businesses, I have an interior design business, he has a consulting business. If we did not do that, we would be sufficient, with the income that we're making from this opportunity, so that we don't have to do those businesses anymore. But security was huge on our list. I promise you, we were real nervous, at least I was, about the future, because we're self-employed and we don't know what Social Security is going to do in the next few years. They're getting kind of crazy up there in DC, but security, financial security was very important to us. Now we have what you call residual income. It comes up every month after month after month, and it gets bigger and bigger. We love to travel. My daughter just got back from Turks and Caicos this week, and now they're saying they're going to take us. Okay, so travel, better health, and less debt. All of these things on this list cost money. You just can't get away with it. So let me tell you, remember I told you there's going to be a big wealth transfer. Listen, trust me, this is really important. So I want you to put your business hat on now, okay? And also your service hat, because you cannot make any of this money unless you're willing to help and bless people. So the stem cell industry is about to explode, y'all. Right now, it's about 200 million, and it's supposed to explode to 300 billion with a B. LifeWave is at the forefront of this because, like I said, there is no other company out there that can touch what we're doing. Everybody else is getting injections, and people are becoming more knowledgeable about stem cell therapy. All right. So we're at the forefront, but this is what I consider ground floor. Remember that chart I showed you where the company was doing 20 million, exploded to 280. It's about 480 million now. 400 million now, expected to be $1 billion company based on the rate we're growing next year. That sounds like opportunity to me. That's the kind of company you want to be a part of, a company where the product is undeniable, where the corporation is sound, financially sound, when you have a founder and leader that is genuine and cares about people like Mr. David Schmidt, and the compensation plan is incredible. Let me explain that to you as well. And when you decide that you want to partner with us, you're going to get one of those packages. And if Gloria enrolls you, you're going to fall on her left team or her right team. But the people who come in first, they're going to benefit from all the efforts of Gloria. You already know Gloria is really, really sharp. Okay. The people who come in first are going to benefit from all the efforts that she does. And guess what? These people on the left is going to get bigger and bigger. They're going to be hundreds of people falling under you, because Gloria is not the only person feeding the people over here. See, there's other people above Gloria. As they bring in partners, they fall on that leg or this leg. So timing and positioning is everything. In this part of the compensation plan, which is, we call it the binary, you can earn up to $25,000 per week just in the binary. So that's really, really exciting to me. Now, the matching bonus is the next really, really exciting part, because every time someone you personally enroll, makes money in the binary, you get 25% of it. The company doesn't take 25% from what they earn. They give you that on top of what they earn. So if they earn $1,000, you make 250. If they make $2,000, you make 500. That's a beautiful thing. You might enroll 50 people over time, not all in 1 month, but maybe in a year or maybe 2 years. 50 people, whatever they earn in the binary, you get 25%. Those people, guess what? They're going to tell some of their friends and relatives and colleagues, and they're going to fall on your second level. Whatever these people earn, you're going to get 20% of what they earn. The people on your third level, these people on your second level was the ones who knew these people. There may be thousands of people right there on that third level. Whatever they earn in the binary, you get 20% of that. So you see how this goes. This is why we say this is so lucrative, but trust me, it's the product that is driving the momentum. That was one of the things I was wondering, because I'm a numbers person. I have a degree in mathematics. I'm going to look at those numbers. And I just was wondering, what is driving the momentum? It's the product, y'all. This technology is phenomenal. Trust me. And just don't blow this off like it's nothing. This packaging that you see right here, these are little small envelopes. And that card is a card, instruction card on the inside of it. You can put some these little samples inside the card. I take mine with me everywhere I go, put a few samples in there. So if I happen to run into someone that I know or some kind of way start a conversation with them, I'll have my patches ready, because you never know. I was with somebody recently where it was their hip. They had like a sciatica problem on their hip. And I put the patch, right there on her hip. And not immediately, but later on that day, she said all that pain was gone. If you don't know anything about sciatica problems, you need to look it up. But people who have that really understand how painful it is. Now, there's the compensation plan, which I kind of told you just a little bit about it. You can go to bill331.com, click on menu right up here, drop down to compensation plan, and there's diagrams and verbal things that explain, verbal explanation of the compensation plan. And if you have any more questions, feel free to get back with Gloria or whoever invite you to the call, and we will go over that part so to make sure you don't miss it. Also, this right here just shows you how we stay connected. Remember that startx39.com website that I told you about that talks about the product. You can go there. There's the Bill 331. So if you go to bill331.com and at the top it says get connected, you're going to put your phone up to these scan bars and take, connect them on your photo, your camera. We have a whole page of testimonials like the ones you heard today. You can search for, let's say, is dementia. And we do know people on our team that had dementia almost gone, okay, in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. You put this, you go to that testimonial page and you can find testimonials on the dementia or whatever you're searching for. So with that being the case, you guys, I want to end the call for now. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. Please get back with Gloria or whoever invited you. But Gloria will be following up with you within 24 hours because Gloria is very focused. She's very serious about what she's doing here. You heard her earlier, and she can help you get started. And she is moving really, really fast. So thank you all so much. And we will talk to you at a later time. Good evening.